Hi Pisces, this is Kay and you're on the Collective Soul Tarot channel. Welcome to your reading. Let's begin. And please like and subscribe. Zodiac 108, we're starting with for the past, present and near future energies. Archangel Michael, what do we have for Pisces today? Okay, there's constellation for the past, some kind of network, support group, organization. Present day energy, we have kerosene. Interesting, I haven't seen that one. Kerosene. And for the near future, headache. I just had that for the Aquarius reading in the present day energy. But headache, wow. This could be a warning reading. Let's see. Okay, constellation. It's a network, support, associates, gathered, meetings, socialized, organization, arrangement, a collection, exchanging data, influence in connection with, a large amount or quantity of kerosene. Let's see here. Kerosene, present day, aggressive, accelerate, ignite, determined, fuel, encourage, sustain, powerful, stimulate, volatile situation, provoke, watch out, unpredictable, combustible, propel, and hot. That's current energy. Now what's going to happen in the near future is poor health, dis-ease, illness, unpleasant, crisis, emergency, body signal, needing self-care, problem, root cause, annoying, disagreeable, something's off, pain, underlying conditions. So that's why I say it could be a warning reading that you might be, you might actually quite literally be belonging to an organization, or you work somewhere or you network with that deals with something, toxic, a toxic product that can cause severe headaches or illness, cancer, or anything else. Like, it could quite literally just be that, Pisces. Or it's that you belong to, you're associated with a group or organization, you socialize with people who are toxic, and that it's going to cause you, you or the group itself, some kind of, poor health, disease, some kind of crisis. Something's going to be unpleasant. Let's find out more from the Lenormand before I carry on anymore. Okay, we have poverty. Wow. That's lacking. Okay. We have house. Okay. We have unexpected income. Unexpected income. Wow. So, the poverty or lacking, the work you do, like this poor fellow here, this young guy, he cleans chimneys. He's got a chimney cleaning brush, which is, I'm sure, is not what it's called, but that's what it does. Cleans chimneys. And these lads don't live very long because they end up inhaling a lot of whatever kerosene, soot from burning wood and whatever the inside of the chimneys are made of, chemicals, right? And so they, eventually they start having really bad lung problems and other organ problems, and they die young. And this is why they use children for two reasons. Children are, to adults, apparently dispensable, back then in the day. They'd rather have the child die before, for the family's sake. You don't want your husband to die because your husband is the one who's going to be the main breadwinner, and if he's doing this work, he's going to die, and he's going to leave his family in dire straits. So they use the children from other families, of course. They use the children, and so they do the dirty work. Plus, the child is small enough and usually flexible enough to get into small spaces and not get stuck. But there is, it could be a network of Pisces. It could be a network of people who are in the business of. I mean, I'm thinking child labor, but I'm not going there because that's not the purview of my readings. So, I would say it's people who are, in the network of charity, to be able to help, like they have, it's an organized charitable organization, to help the needy, right? The less privileged, the needy, the ones who are lacking what they need in order to have the bare necessities, so to live life. But there is something in, they say in the state of Denmark, there's something not right in that organization, the house. There's something that's toxic about the organization. And if it's not a charitable organization, it's something else, that this support, or this network of people or organization, they function in ways that can be damning and dangerous, toxic, right? That they, on one side of the coin they look like this, on the other side it's not what it seems. The organization is not as it seems to be. And what's going to come of it is that this is going to end up falling. This house, this organization is going to end up, being, blown up. Being blown up. Like, I don't mean literally, but it could be. But blown up to the point where people are going to be at each other's throats over something. That something could be the activities of the organization that by some of the people involved are seen as being dark or not appropriate or illegal. And by others, it's like, well, we're doing it because we need to do it. If we don't do it, then, what we're trying to do, to be able to... Well, for example, I was just watching the series, I don't know what it's called, because that's not really my focus. But it has to do with, it's Scrublands, that's what it is, that there's a pastor that comes into the community, and he's been there for a while. He ends up giving money to the schools, was it money? Or it was like air conditioners, computers, and all sorts of other things that the school could use, right? Because the school was in lack of these resources. And this priest, he tried to go the regular route of doing fundraisers in the community, but they barely were able to buy like one computer for the whole school with that kind of funds that they raised. And so he ended up not inheriting, but the thing is that there was this skunk or weed, marijuana or whatever you call it, field in the area of the community that he came across, and like nobody was tending to it anymore. It was there, it had been growing, but it dwindled down quite a bit because no one was taking care of it. So he thought to himself, you know what, if I make this grow and I get a good harvest from this, I'll be able to help this community out with the money that I get from this. Well, I would say that's really remarkable, and that's really commendable thing to do, Mr. Priest. But what about who are you selling it to? I mean, and who are they selling it to? If you're not selling it directly to people that are using it, the ones you're selling it to are going to be selling it directly to people that are using it. And it could be, even some of the kids in your community that are using these drugs, paying for them, using them, and doing whatever because they're on a high, right, from the drug. And so you're basically putting people at risk with your product under the guise that you're using not that anyone knows you're selling drugs, okay, but you're using the money to give it to the community to help the kids. So on one hand, you're putting the youth at risk with having the drugs available, and they're using them to helping kids. So, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. It might make sense to someone else. But I would be the one who would be questioning this organization about it, and I'd be questioning the priest and saying that logically, in some ways, half of it sounds good, the other half, it doesn't work for me. What's going on here? So anyways, what's going to happen is that things are going to become very disagreeable in the near future, and there could be some unexpected consequences as a result. That you might get some money, sure, you might get some money, unexpected income out of this organization being brought to light, what they're doing and how they're operating, but there might be something that comes from it that is first has to go through the court system or go through the legal system in some way first, to make this organization, put it in its poor health status, that it's not in operable well-being, that they can't continue to keep operating. And then it could be that you are going to receive some kind of reward. I don't know what that could be, but it's definitely something unexpected, and I would say it's something unexpected that is not necessarily positive at all. Okay, so we have temperance here. That is finding balance. That is finding healing. That is finding the divine stepping in. The divine stepping in and bringing healing into this situation. Balance, right? Remember, like I said about scrublands? The balance, there's got to be a balance, and I guess the balance is that you sell drugs so that you can help kids. But you're selling drugs to kids, for the most part, to kids. Well, on one hand, you're making kids sick. On the other hand, you're trying to make kids better. So there's got to be a balance there, and you do it in a way that it's not going to cause harm to the same population that your drugs are servicing. Okay, what do we got here? We have the devil. Wow. The devil. Ugh. With the kerosene, the toxic inflammatory substance, volatile, it says, provokes, it's unpredictable, it's combustible, it's hot, it's an accelerant, and it's aggressive. It's dangerous. Yeah. All right. So you've got the toxic situation that needs to be healed. The balance needs to be found. And I would say this scrublands example that I've just shared with you would be a really good example of this, because and it's just crazy. It's the priest doing this. Okay, somebody that you should be able to trust. That's on the up and up, Wow. Okay, Archangel Michael. What else have we got? Oh my goodness. The readings are so specific today, it seems. Not going to be for everybody that watches this video. We got the Ace of Swords. Okay, so the Ace of Swords isn't it. The aces are always an offer by the divine to have a new beginning in truth, right? The new beginning and truth. Well, the truth is that this organization or this network of people you're associated with is trying to do things, trying to look as though they're doing things right. They're doing things truthfully. Being transparent and trying to look as though what they're doing is commendable, to help the needy, to help bring abundance to somebody who's in lack. Okay? Let's just leave those there. Big deck. Then we have the shadow work. Okay, so the shadow work is like there's a shadow looming over this organization that needs some work. It's shadow work that this company needs to look at what its real motives are. What's its intentions? Is its intentions to really be trying to bolster and support, like this one says, bolster and support the population that they are geared towards helping? Or are they really in it for some kind of, beyond that profit? That, when they talk about the charitable organization, there's some charitable organizations where if you donate to them, let's say you donate $100, well, $10 goes towards the population that they're providing support for, while the other 90% is going towards what they say is administration. And administration, I would say maybe another $20 of that goes to actual, wages and whatever that needs to be, that's part of the whole mechanism of the organization to be getting the money, paying what needs to be done, and then the rest of the money to go to the family or the person or the situation. And the rest of the money is pocketed into the pockets of the people who are a part of having organized that organization, right? It could be, who knows, there could be shareholders and whatnot involved. I don't know. But yeah, there's some shadow work that is going on here that needs to be looked at. And somebody is looking at it, and I would say it's probably you looking at it, because we got judgment here with temperance. You are looking at what needs to be done. You are looking at things from the point of view or the perspective that says something's not right. Judgment, right? You're making a judgment call. Something's been going on and you just don't see, something's just not right. Not right, and you've got questions. You have questions, and you're seeing that there's something shady going on that needs to, you need to investigate, or you need to bring other people in, get involved, and investigate the situation, the organization. With the Seven of Wands, that you realize you're going to be up against the organization's probably legal people, legal team, and just them, that the people that you see every day and work with, that you're going to have to stand your ground. Okay, if you're going to go up against these people, this might not be a charitable thing at all. It's whatever you're facing right now. Try and fit that with your situation, but don't bend it to the point where it really doesn't fit. But if you're facing your employer, let's say, maybe you're facing your shareholders of a company, and you're needing to question what's going on in the company, and they are like, you need to stop asking questions. We will fire you, and then you'll be black marked. You won't be able to get a job anywhere in the city, whatever, state, country. So it's you could be getting threatened, with their aggression coming back at you, kind of thing. And your home may be at risk because either they know where you live and they're going to do graffiti on your on your home, or they might, like your income could be threatened where you're not going to be able to afford to pay your mortgage. You know, your home could be at risk, okay? But I see this more as the organization that you're involved in some way, or that you're looking at from a distance. You may not even be working with them or involved with them directly. You just might be seeing something about an organization that it speaks to your heart about the people or the things that they say they're trying to help. You know, it speaks to your heart in some way, and you're seeing that you're starting to notice things like red flags, right? That maybe they aren't as upfront about the finances and how they're actually helping this community, just like scrublands, where they're getting the money from, and that sort of stuff, right? It could be that you see that your community is steeped in drug abuse, you know, of people who sell drugs, dealers and users, and then the healthcare that comes from that. If for people who need to be taken care of because they've overdosed or whatever the situation is, your taxes go up because they can't pay for their own health care. So taxes go up to help, to help bring balance to the very toxic situation. And it's not fair, right? You're seeing that it's not fair to the people who are like the blue collar workers, or the ones who are really the ones that end up carrying the financial load for the rest of the country. So this is just something that you are looking at, and it's close to your heart, or it's just frustrating. It's terribly frustrating. You haven't been able to let it go, and you're sort of like a dog with a bone. You're just not going to let it go until it's buried. You know, it's something you've got to do something about. Okay, so the Seven of Wands is that the divine is saying it's toxic. Healing needs to play. We got angels all over this with you. So if you want to be able to expose what this company, organization, whatever is doing, your employer is doing, know that we're here with you, all around you, and you just make sure you stand your ground reasonably, to a reasonable extent, and put up those healthy boundaries. That, for example, if people are coming to your house to talk to you about, they want to keep you quiet, let's bribe you, let's pay you something, you got some boundaries. You say you get boundaries up around your house. There's nobody's coming to my house. Nobody, don't even bother coming. I've got a dog, I got a dog, I got a policeman living next door. Don't even bother coming to my house. That kind of thing. Then we have Temperance again. So this is major. I mean, besides the fact that it's a major arcana, it's major energy in that the healing is going to happen. The headache, the healing, the disease of the situation is going to be healed because you are bringing the light. You're bringing light to it. The shadow is going to be revealed, okay, because of your work, your good work, your need for justice kind of thing, making a judgment call that what they're doing isn't something that is above board, and that it's not right, and it affects your family maybe in some way, affects you in some way, it affects your community in some way that you love and adore, and you just don't want these kind of people, bringing bad stuff into your world, right? And so you've got the Ten of Wands here. It's just like this. There's going to be an unexpected outcome instead of income. There's going to be an unexpected outcome as a result of all of you shining the light on what this organization or these people or your employer is doing, whatever it is. The burden is going to be put aside. It's going to be let go. The burden that you've been carrying about this, it's time now in the near future to put it down. Let's see what the back of the deck says. The Hermit. That's you. That's you, going within, like going into your house and kind of laying low and checking with the divine. If you're somebody who's into spirituality and divinity and, praying to God and stuff, you're going to be checking in with the divine to see, if you're still protected, and you are. But it's kind of one of those things where you're going to be making sure that if you're going to be bringing the light to someone else's behaviors and activities, that your own backyard is clean, kind of thing. You got all your ducks lined up in a row. With the Queen of Wands, that's you saying, I'm ready. I'm ready to do battle. I'm the Queen of Wands. I'm somebody who is someone who fights the good battle. And the Queen of Wands intends to win. She doesn't fight if she doesn't think she's going to win. She fights when she knows she's going to win. And you're doing something very bold here. Very, very bold. That's the Queen of Wands energy. You are being bold and bringing up questions, addressing what you don't understand. Questioning things and seeing, well, it doesn't make any sense to me. Why this when that is going on? That kind of thing. So I think that what I see here for your near future is that you're going to be able to find a solution. And it's all because you were bold and brave and stood up and decided to fight the good fight. Because you may not know that you're going to win it, but now you can know it. You can know it because you'd be there's going to be healing. You'd be putting the burden down. You're okay. Inward to know you're okay, to check in, right? And this card that comes out, this energy that the divine has put out through the tarot today, is telling you that the Queen of Wands only fights when they know they can win. So this is telling you you're going to win. You're going to succeed in some way. That is going to be, to you, worth it. Worth having done what you've done. So geez, guys, best of luck, Pisces, with that. I hope you all the best. And take care and be safe, okay? Bye for now, and we'll check in with you again. Please like and subscribe.